You know what's crazy? Is a lot of people who end up going to prison, whether they've been to jail a bunch of times before their actual prison bid, or if this is their first time ever, going somewhere, being locked up somewhere, a lot of people have the bad thought on what 9 times out of 10 may happen due to the fact on how far away from home they are actually being sent. Which means if you're so used to getting locked up in your county jail, obviously you're local where you're locked up at that time. But inside a prison, they're going to send you a little ways away. So for this video here, I want people to know what to truly expect when you find yourself locked up a long way away from home. So let's get right into it. I'm the best, finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga, yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with locks. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2 comes violent, first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone and my charger don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted. What's up, y'all? You already know, man. K Fraud TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name's Frog, and if this is your first time tuning into one of my videos, almost everything I speak on over here is prison related. You can learn from my experiences of what prison's actually like. You can even check out my short videos, and you will see actual content from while I was locked up, or just type in K Fraud TV Volume 1 or K Fraud TV Volume 2. Volume 3 was banned due to violent activities and harmful content. But other than that, we still here. Alright? Appreciate it. For this one here, man, I'm going to be telling y'all what it's like, man, when you're doing time farther away from home than you're used to, or doing time far away from home for the first time ever. Okay? A lot of people, think the worst when it comes to going to prison, because off rip they feel like they're going to be so far away that they're not going to know nobody. What's the odds of them running into a familiar face and shit like that. But in all reality, it can be, good or bad. It could be a good thing you run into somebody, or it could be a bad thing as well. All right. And the reason I say that is because it isn't got to be just an enemy, that you run into. You understand? That's a familiar face. Even running into a friend can be a bad thing while you're in prison. And I'm going to explain to it, and I'm going to let you know why. Obviously, if you run into an enemy, then damn, it might lead into some drama. That's what you're going to think in your mind, right? You're going to be like, damn, we got beef on the streets, so when we see each other, I know what's on sight. Well, for anybody who's been locked up and has did time for real, knows that somebody that you beef with on the streets can end up being your best friend when you're inside of prison. A lot of people decide to click together, and that might be the only person you actually know that looks familiar that can actually relate to where you are from. It might be you and your enemy against everybody else. You see what I'm saying? And being in that type of situation and that type of environment can actually make you two actually come together as being friends. All right? Now, the farther you are, the less chances you have of running into somebody, obviously, compared than your local county jail. Because that's where you're from. That's your county. So obviously everybody in there is going to have the same stance as you. Almost everybody's going to walk the same lingo, act the same. You're going to not only see people you are familiar with, but you're going to see people that you think that look familiar due to the fact that they are from where you are from. You get what I'm saying? Now, when you go up top, you're going to start seeing different stances, different lingos and slangs and different movements and ways that people carry themselves, all different. Nobody is going to be the same looking, because everybody's going to be from different parts of the state. You see what I'm saying? And if you're in the feds, then you might be in a totally different state in general compared to where you're from. You see, you might not even be in the same state you're actually from. If it's federal prison, they can send your ass to the tip top of the United States and you be from the bottom. But as far as what it's like when you go there, you'll find it to where
there's nothing wrong with meeting new people from different places, okay? Don't be one of them individuals that think just because you're going way up top, you know, you're not going to know nobody, there's going to be problems, you know, or in the back of your mind, which this is what a lot of people do, is they hope they know somebody when they get there. Believe it or not, you will have less problems and less shit to worry about if you didn't even know nobody there than most likely you would if you knew somebody. Because if it's an enemy, like I said, y'all might 9 times out of 10 become friends, or if it's an enemy that don't want to become friends, then you already know you have a problem. If they got there before you did and you go there and you come across them and they see you, they might have homeboys and friends by now. So when you go there, you're going to be outnumbered off rip by an enemy of yours on the streets that already had a clique of friends and homies that he didn't know until he got there. But now it's them against you, you see? So that's kind of like one of the bad ways of knowing somebody when you're doing time far away from where you're from, all right? Now, when it comes to a friend of yours, somebody you know, someone you're cool with, might be from the same neighborhood, or somebody you did time with in the county jail where you're from before, or y'all went to school together, or whatever it is. Just because you know that person, it's a 50-50 chance if it's a good or a bad thing, okay? And I'm going to explain to you why. Of course, it'll be a good thing if you go to a new institution way at the top of the map, not where you're from, and you don't know anybody but this one person that's a friend of yours, and he's got friends. He's fucking, got homeboys. He's got people that back him. He's respected. Of course, it's going to be in your favor. You get what I'm saying? Because you know that person. So now a lot of these people are going to back off of you, and they're going to actually, whether they're cool with you straight up or they just, don't, pay you no mind and don't try to like physically harm you or rob you or anything, it's going to be on his face, the person that you knew that you were cool with. So, I mean, that's pretty better than there being beef. Better than running into somebody who wants to hurt you just because you're new here, you see? Now, the bad thing is, due to the fact that you know that individual, comes with you having to put your neck on the line, and you might get yourself in situations because you know that individual as well, you see? So it's like if you go to that camp, that institution on the whole other side of the map, and when you get there, everybody knows you know him. When you come in there, he vouches for you, and then y'all are seen together all the time. Y'all are together 24/7. Anything that person does, it might reflect on you. If he owes people money and he checks in with their money and don't pay them, or if he gets into a fight and stabs someone, or someone wants to harm him, in prison, man, they go for the next closest thing to you. You see, you can get stabbed up just from walking along the side somebody. You can literally not be with this person every day. You could just barely even talk to this dude, and you could be walking next to him, talking to him, because y'all got the same test to take inside of education today. So you're talking to him about, you took the test before? What kind of questions they ask? Yada, 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 yada. And next thing you know, a clique of people can come over there and be wanting to attack him and stab him up. And since you're there talking to him and shit, they think you're a friend that you might get involved, so they're going to attack you too. So you'll be walking and you get involved by being in the situation of just verbally communicating with the person that's their target. You see? And they can run up and attack you over that. You see, that's why prison's a dangerous thing, you know what I'm saying? And by you not knowing somebody, when you get sent farther away, I feel like you can't fall in no bullshit unless you put yourself in bullshit like that, That's how I look at it. Because the couple people that I came across that I did know while I was in prison, way up in the panhandle, knowing I'm from down south in Florida, the ones that I came across and seen, they didn't do their bids the right way. You get what I'm saying? They always had some fuck shit going on. Some of them, man, just, you would see a side of them that you never knew of before, or, they're going to try to grasp and try to, like, pull you in any kind of conflict or beef that is coming, or anything doing wrong. They're going to try to put your face and get your face involved. I had somebody I knew that was from my neighborhood that's actually getting deported when he gets out of prison. You feel me? He's from Africa. But him, I came across him. I known him since I was probably 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? I used to see him in my neighborhood growing up and everything like that. He went and did one bid, 5 years, got out, came back to the neighborhood. Went and did another 3-year bid, got out, came back to the neighborhood. We all know him in the neighborhood. I happened to run across him in the county jail 2 times while waiting to go to prison. And about 3 years in to my prison bid, after I already went to one institution, got a negative adjustment transfer, got sent to another one, I ran into him on the rec yard. He was so excited to see me, shit like that. But his problem is he liked to rob people. You know, he liked to smoke that twack. You know, so he would rob people to get high. You feel me? And what he would do, which was his problem, see, that's a homeboy of mine. That was a friend, somebody I knew. You know what I'm saying? A familiar face. Feels better than all the ones you don't know. But at the same time, a lot of times people would be coming into my dorm, be like, oh, fraud, da da da. Then people send the digits. What's the PayPal number? And I'm like, what PayPal? What are you talking about? Oh, such and such said that. Ba 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 ba. You feel me? Da, da, da. So he would literally like come to my dorm and ask to get on my jack. You feel me? And since he's my dog from the streets, you know, I ain't finna charge him. You know what I'm saying? I know him personally. You know what I'm saying? So I'd let him get on. He'd say, oh, just send my brother a text. Tell him to send the money here. This. And then he'd go do whatever he does and kind of like do the transaction and get whatever he gets or whatever before the money even came from his brother. So then he tells these people, oh, yeah, down there in such and such dorm, fraud, he feel me, he finna had the money, and then I got random dudes coming up to me trying to, you know what I'm saying, and I used to tell them, don't get that man nothing on my face. So a couple of them will be like, well, you know, he said since you and him were like, you feel me, I did that shit for you, you know, because, and I'm like, listen, and I tell them over and over again, I don't give a damn who knows me. I don't care what it is. If that shit ain't come out my mouth, do not get that shit over to him. That's simple, bro. You feel me? And that just shows, you know, the type of people, you know, that you'll come across while you're in prison. You know, some people do time different than the others. In his mind, he don't feel like he did nothing wrong, you know. He came, he got on the jack, he sent the text to his brother. He went and read up or did whatever he did, and then he told him, yeah, man, my brother's going to send the money to... So what's his name should have the PayPal. Then I got the dudes coming to me for the digits, and I ain't got the digits because they ain't send them. You feel me? I'm not paying and covering the tab. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. You get what I'm saying? So you got people that are comfortable, that know you, that can get you in more shit than a stranger. So when you do time longer and farther away from where you're from, I feel like you got a better chance, and you know you'll have a more understanding and a more laid back, lenient experience of prison if you just got to meet new people rather than coming across ones you do know, you see, because what they do pulls you in some type of way. You know, you think about it. I'm from Davie. If I go to an institution and say there's 1 or 2 other people from Davie there, since it's such a small amount, everybody's going to know the 2 or 3 people that are from the same place. So, off rip, when something happens with any one of them people, the third person is going to be looked at as well. You see, and it kind of like puts you in bad placement. You know, it makes it to where if that person's wanted, you could be wanted. You feel me? If he's fucking up, people might come look at you like, oh, you know, you feel me? Or, you know, if we hit him up or stab him, we got to go get him. You know, they're from the same place, so we can't trust leaving him here because he might try to stab us up afterwards. You get what I'm saying? So my whole meaning of this video is I want people to know, don't try to lock it in your head and hope you know somebody when you get sent somewhere. And I'm not just saying this. I was one of those same type of individuals. That's how I know a lot of people think like this. I was one of them same type of individuals that was hoping. My mom was running me crazy as I was on my way up the road because I didn't know what to expect. And I know how I am. You know, I know like I had pride issues. You know what I'm saying? I can't put my pride to the side. You know, I know if someone tries me, I don't give a fuck if there's 15 of them. I'm going to react to the person that's trying me. You see? And it's going to lead to a worse situation 9 times out of 10. But so in my mind, I was like, man, I hope I know when I get up here, man. And I remember all the stories I was asking people that been to prison before. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking them, did they know anybody when they went there? You know, trying to figure out this, that, and shit. And it just drew me crazy, hoping to know somebody. But I tell you, Everybody I came across that I did know, it was worse than the new people I had to meet. You get what I'm saying? It's obviously just like if you were in your county jail where you're from. How you can spot somebody, you know, that isn't from there. Or in your neighborhood on the streets, you can spot somebody that's not from your, you know, your hood, that isn't from where you're from. You could tell by the way they walk, the way they carry themselves, the way they speak. It's the same thing when you go to prison. People are going to be able to tell you're not from there. You're going to be able to tell they're not from there. You get what I'm saying? And they can read it off of you. They can sense it off of you, you know, just like you can them. You're going to go somewhere and they're going to tell, we could tell you're not from around here. You know, and since prison's in rotation so much, you're going to have different hub stations, which are institutions, basically, that all people from different fucking angles are coming from different neighborhoods, from different places. So everybody's going to look like they're not from where you were from. And it's going to feel like you don't know nobody. You know, prison is so small. The world is so small. But at the same time, it is so big at the same time. You get what I'm saying? It's like prison, there's numerous of them. You know, and when you're looking to run into somebody, you know, the chances are to run into that individual are very slim. You know, hoping to run into a certain specific person, very slim. But trying to get away from danger, trying to outrun certain types of people, and hoping not to run into certain people, the chances are slim, you know, and that shit might happen. You know, it's just the way it all works. You know what I'm saying? It's a big and a small world at the same time. And my whole meaning of this video is I want people to realize and do not focus on wanting to run into somebody you know, because at the same time as you think that that's going to make it easier for you and better for you throughout your bid, that could be bullshit, you know. It could be worse. You can run into somebody that you don't want to run into, or run into somebody that you want to run into, and they got a wrong way of doing time compared to how you do your time. You see what I'm saying? And the next thing you know, boom, now your ass is in some bullshit, all because you knew that individual. That's why you don't want to chance it. You don't want to be like, oh, you know what, man, I hope I run into him. Or everybody you see that you know, you just decide to clinch on to them and hang out with them now. You don't want to do that because you don't know what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? You got to sit back and observe. You feel me? You got to make sure that that person that you know from the streets or from your county does their time the same type of way how you do. Because if they don't do their time the way you do your time, it's only a matter of time until they get you in some shit. Because if you think about it, 9 times out of 10, the main reason people bump heads in the first place is they're on a different type of time than you're on. You get what I'm saying? So you might think you're right, they think they're right. But really, what they think's right is wrong to you, and vice versa, right? So people get into conflicts back and forth. Now just imagine when it's somebody you're cool with, somebody you know on the streets, that's from where you're from. You know, they're going to feel like they're right, and then they're going to feel like they're not wrong from, you know, what they're saying to you. They're going to feel more comfortable saying to you and how they do, because they know you personally. Oh, I ain't none of these dudes, bro. And the first thing that they're going to want to say is, oh, boy, I act different when we locked up. This and that, want to act like he don't fuck with me while we in there, you know. But in all reality, it's like, man, you was the one that was acting different because you was going against how I feel. You were going against the grain on what I stand on. So it's like worse to run into somebody and hope to run into somebody. You get what I'm saying? I actually feel like doing time farther away from home is less drama, less problems. You see, a lot of people might not agree with that, especially if you ain't did time. But if you have done time before, farther away, and then you've done time close, you would look at it, yeah, there was probably a lot more fun moments close because there's a lot of people you can relate to, you know. But at the same time, it's easier to get in a lot of shit rather than it is when you get sent somewhere else. You see, that's why I look at it like that. I feel like if I had to choose 5 years down south or 5 years up in the panhandle, the only thing that would want me to stay down south is the inmates run the institution. You get what I'm saying? It's more dangerous. It's more, you know, urban. It's more, you know, ghetto-ish. You feel me? And that's why I would like down south. But if it wasn't able to be, you know, different amongst how it is with the guards, like in the panhandle, the officers run the compounds. The officers are the ones that got that shit on lock. The officers are the slimiest and most creepest people up there in the Panhandle. You see what I'm saying? If the guards were equal on both ends, I would pick the Panhandle, because then it's like, boom, I get to go over here. I'm nowhere away from home. You know what I'm saying? I'm nowhere close to being home, so I ain't gonna focus on what's going on at home. I'm not trying to be in the mix. I'm not worried about what's going on in the streets. I'm not trying to tap in on the streets 24/7. I'm not worried about Vizzo. I'm not worried about people trying to throw shit over the gate or having mules go outside the gate and pack their ass and bring it in for me and all that. I'm not worried about none of that shit, because I'm not close enough to make all them moves happen. You see? But when you're farther away, you're more out of sight and out of mind. You get what I'm saying? That's why I would have to pick the Panhandle. But how it is for real with the guards, I would definitely have to pick down south. I would love to stay down south rather than go to the Panhandle. I would pick, personally, I'd pick 3 years. I'd pick 3 years down south rather than 2 years in the Panhandle. If they say you could do 3 years down south or go to the Panhandle for 2 years. Just because I know how the guards are. You know what I'm saying? I just know how fucked up it is up there. Them guards might try to kill me to where I never get out. You feel me? But at the same time, when it comes to if I had to choose compared to who I would know on the streets, or compared to doing time close to home or far away from home, my opinion, and that's what the comment section's for y'all, my opinion would be to do time farther away from home. Just because it's a whole lot easier on my end, and you get to meet new people, people that don't know you, people you don't know. The only friends that you will have is ones you make. Same with enemies. You get what I'm saying? And you got to carry your own. However your bid turns out is going to be on how you carry yourself. You see what I'm saying? But hey, that's what the comment section's for. Y'all drop it in the comment section and let everybody know what it was like for your experience when you did time farther away from home, or how it was when you did the time. You see what I'm saying? You know how it is when people look at you and you walk into a dorm and you could tell they know you're not from around there. That's exactly how it is, because you know you could sense and peep when somebody's not from around where you're from. It's the same thing. So you got to be on beat. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm just a messenger. But anyways, y'all make sure y'all drop it in the comment section, man. Let me know y'all thoughts. Appreciate everybody that's been tuning into the channel lately, man. I appreciate all the new subscribers, everything like that. Y'all already know, man. Stay tuned to the next video. And like I always say, man, make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, clout chasers, lying-ass motherfuckers off YouTube. Keep them out your circle, man. Till next time, this the one and only. I am my team, Frog.
I'm a criminal, I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though.
I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though, cause I'm a criminal. Yeah, I'm a criminal.